Ava Grace, you had the cutest little baby face. I wanna kiss it all over the place. Ava Grace. Don't worry guys, I'm getting my eyelashes done on Monday. So the next time you see me, I won't have these jacked up eyelashes. So, we're going to be talking about postpartum today, which honestly I think is worse than the actual birth. I think the recovery, for me, in my experience, was worse than the birth. If you hear hiccups in the background, that's Ava. She's got the hiccups right now. But yeah, so we're going to be talking about postpartum. First off, right when I gave birth, I was nervous for getting stitched up. I was getting nervous for pushing the placenta out, and I was getting so nervous for all of these things, way more nervous than I was for pushing Ava out. But honestly, I got an epidural and I could not feel them stitching me up. I couldn't, they told me, do you want us to pull the placenta out or do you want to push it out? And I gave a little and they were like, okay, it's out. So that was really easy for me, and it all happened while Ava was laying on me. So I feel like even if you don't have an epidural, you'll be distracted by the fact that you just pushed a baby out. The fact that you just pushed a baby out and you're holding your baby right now. So getting stitched up, pushing the placenta out, really was no big deal. After you give birth, you are going to be very, very, very swollen, and it's really, really uncomfortable. Before you leave, the nurses do try and have you go pee. I don't think you can leave before you go pee, and that really was hard for me. I went up to go to the bathroom to try and I couldn't, so the nurse tried to give me all these little tricks. She had me put my hand in cold water, she had me smell this mint thing, she had me use the little sitz bath thing that we're going to talk about later. She had me do 5 different tricks. I can't remember what they all were, but point is I couldn't go to the bathroom, so they ended up having to put a catheter in me, and that really sucked because there was no more epidural, and so that was very, very, very painful. So yeah, they make you go to the bathroom after you give birth, before you leave, and I couldn't. I had to get a catheter, but when I did end up having to go to the bathroom on my own, it burned and it hurt, and I was very scared of it. So little tricks that you can do, obviously I feel like a lot of people know this, but since I haven't gave birth before Ava, I didn't know, but there's this little, you okay? You want to sit with me? Before you leave, they give you, my nurses gave me bunch of big maxi pads, and when I say big, I mean the size of that mirror. They were huge, and they took up a lot of room. Now you want to look back at your swing? Yeah, so they give you those big maxi pads to go to the bathroom, and then they gave me those big granny underwear that you have to wear, and then they gave me a sitz bath, and then they gave me a numbing spray. So while you're going to the bathroom, to make it hurt less, you can use the sitz bath and spray it while you're going to the bathroom, if that makes sense. That helps with going to the bathroom after having a baby. So also, while you're in the hospital, the nurses, if you deliver naturally, the nurses will come in and push on your stomach, because there's a lot of stuff still in you, and they have to try and push all of that stuff out. And so that's also why you have to wear those big old maxi pads and granny underwear, because a lot of stuff comes out of you, and it keeps coming out of you for a few weeks after you give birth, and it's really messy. So obviously, after you give birth, I feel 99% of women either their doctors will cut them or they'll just tear while giving birth. And so you have to get stitched back up. My stitches weren't that bad, but there are people who aren't able to sit down properly after they give birth because it just hurts so bad to sit. And luckily that wasn't the case for me, but it does happen to people, so yeah, that really sucks. Pooping after you give birth. So I was really scared to go to the bathroom after I gave birth because obviously you're like, oh my god, I just pushed a baby out. Like, I feel like once I sit down, everything's gonna come out. But my nurses and a lot of people in my family were like, take stool softeners because you don't want it to be like to like hurt, I guess. I don't know. But that is like number one advice. Take stool softeners after you give birth. Trust me, it will help so much when you have to like poop for the first time because otherwise that would have sucked, I feel like, if I wouldn't have taken those. So yeah, I feel like postpartum, like the recovery, it lasts for like you go until your 6 week appointment with your doctors to make sure everything's fine, like your stitches are healed up. And yeah, for me, honestly, pushing her out, like it sucked, but the recovery for me sucked worse just because it lasted longer and there was a lot more you had to do, like going to the bathroom, using the sitz bath, like going to the bathroom sometimes would have me in like tears. Like I would not want to go to the bathroom. Like I hated it, and it's just part of the recovery, and it really sucks. So yeah, that I feel like is gonna be a really fast video. I feel like I went through things really fast, but I mean, everybody's experience is different. It's just, it all depends on your body. So yeah, let's go say bye.